Katrin. I am from Austria, and of course we are also dealing with the coronavirus situation here. The numbers of infections are increasing every day, every hour basically, and also our government was forced to take action. I think here we started to take this situation seriously when we saw what was happening in Italy. And for sure, after we had our first 2 reported cases in Tyrol, in Innsbruck. After that, our government started to take actions. First actions were the cancellation of public events with more than 100 people indoors and more than 500 people outdoors, and the recommendation for people to stay at home as much as possible. After that, they announced that by Monday, the 16th of March, all businesses will be closed except for businesses who offer basic services like food, pharmacies, post office, and stuff like that. After that announcement, over the weekend between the 13th and the 16th of March, people started to go crazy. There was a run on supermarkets. Toilet paper was sold out. There was a run on banks because people thought they will not get cash money anymore. So the situation got a little bit crazy. On Monday, the government tried to control everything a little bit more. They assured everyone that supermarkets will be open. There will be no restrictions on where you get your food or how you can survive during those days. So everything calmed down a little bit, but they recommended the people here to isolate themselves as far as possible. For example, people are not supposed to leave the house anymore unless they have to go to buy food or medicine, or they need to go out because they need to support people who need help. And also, if you have to go to work because it's not possible to work from home, and you're also allowed to go out for a walk, for a run, but only alone or together with the people who live in your household. Other than that, all the events, public or private, no matter with how many visitors, got cancelled. It's also not allowed anymore to make a private birthday party, for example. And police will give you a fine if they see you breaking the rules. Also, all the borders got closed, and the government started to take the first villages in Tyrol under quarantine. 2 weeks later, the government announced more restrictions. From now on, if you enter in a supermarket, you need to wear a mask. They also put stickers on the floor for every customer to make sure everyone keeps the 1 meter distance. And you can only enter the supermarket alone. And the entrances of the supermarkets will be controlled and maybe restricted. So from now on, there can be waiting lines because they want to make sure that not too many people are in the supermarkets at the same time. Also, the government presented a financial support package for the local economy of 38 billion euros. Overall, the situation feels weird, even a little bit scary when you leave the house because the streets are empty. And if you meet someone, it's probably someone with a mask. I think the times are difficult, but if everyone sticks by the rules, this will come to an end, hopefully soon.
We all heard about coronavirus, also called COVID-19. In the end of 2019, the first cases appeared in Wuhan, in China, with a group of people presenting cases of pneumonia. The first death case took place in January 2020. This virus started spreading very fast, not only within China, but also in the rest of the world. In February this year, the first coronavirus case in Europe was reported in France. It was on the 11th of March 2020 when the World Health Organization declared the situation as a pandemic. Nowadays, there are more than 800,000 reported cases of COVID-19 in more than 200 countries, and within this amount of cases there are more than 40,000 deaths and more than 175,000 recovered cases. United States, Italy, Spain, and China lead the list of countries with reported cases, and we got to talk with some people in San Francisco, Valencia, Alicante, and Beijing who explained to us how the situation got developed in the different locations.
Hello, I'm recording this in San Francisco, California. Just wanted to talk a little bit about how we're responding here to the COVID-19 pandemic. So yeah, it's been kind of slowly upticking over the past few weeks. But as of last Monday, the mayor kind of announced like a shelter-in-place mandate, which just means that everyone is supposed to stay indoor or supposed to stay home except for essential business. So our grocery stores are still open. Post office is still open as far as I can tell. Pharmacies are still open, but like pretty much everything else has been closed. All the bars are closed. All of the restaurants have been closed, except for takeout. So that's kind of been what's been happening here. And then the public schools, I think all schools have been closed and are supposed to be closed until April 6th. And they're supposed to reopen on April 6th, although we're kind of expecting that might change. We're not sure. And my idea of how people are responding, I think most people are taking it pretty serious. Small groups. There's lots of signage telling folks to maintain at least 6 feet between you and the people on the street. And I think people were, for the most part, doing that. The park was pretty empty, and it's a really nice day. So that would normally be like a packed day in the park, and it was pretty much dead. So I think people are responding well, or they are doing what they're supposed to do. I haven't seen anyone be issued any consequences for not abiding by the rules. It's a little hard to tell. I mean, I don't think anyone's like getting in trouble with the cops or anything like that for not doing what they're supposed to do. But yeah, in my kind of sense of things is that we're all responding as best we can, and hoping that this will be past us soon.
My name is Elisabetta, I'm 24 and I live near Cuneo, so in the northwest of Italy. The government, with the President Giuseppe Conte, orders everyone to stay home. So schools are obviously closed, and you can leave your house only with a certificate which proves that you are out for one of these 3 reasons. To go to work, but most of work activities are forced to close, to take care of your health, or to buy food. So people is reacting in different ways. Someone is in panic, someone underestimates the problem and doesn't manage to stay home, and someone is angry with the people who get out and spends his time screaming from the window or calling the police. But fortunately, most of the people are trying to spread positive messages. Someone gives his help as a volunteer, but someone just shares his abilities for free on social networks, giving, for example, gym lessons, yoga lessons, schools repetition. Someone proposes social challenges, like, for example, publish your most embarrassing photos. Well, I think that these are silly things, but they are good for the mood. In fact, it's not easy at all losing the freedom of going out, even just for a walk. But above all, it's hard to renounce to meet the people you love, so your parents, your friends, your partner. But well, I think that if we are lucky enough to be in health and we just have to stay home, we should try to take advantage of this time and discover something new about ourselves. During these days, I'm trying to ask to myself what I'm really missing. Was it really necessary in my daily routine, or it was just a slavery? It was just a slavery for my life. And I'm trying to do the same thing with people. So, who I'm really missing? Who is really important to me? Well, I think that if we try to do this with ourselves, when we'll be free, we'll be a little bit stronger.
Hello, I'm Amparo and I'm speaking to you from Valencia. I don't know how to begin to explain this crazy situation in which the country is involved. I think that we started hearing about the coronavirus about a month ago, but we will never have imagined everything that was going to happen, especially here in Spain. The first bad news that we had here was the cancellation of the Fallas. The Fallas is the most important festival in the city and one of the most important festivals at national and European level. Valencians worked throughout the year to make this party go ahead. It's a great economic power in the city. Therefore, this news has meant a great economic and material loss in the city. But I think that right now is not the most important thing. The spread of the virus in the country has been very fast. That has led to drastic measures. Since Friday, we are in an indefinite quarantine. We cannot go outside, but to carry out necessary activities such as buying basic products or going to the pharmacy. But even in these establishments, measures has been taken. Only a number of people can enter wearing gloves and always keeping a minimum distance of 1 meter. Uncertainty and fear have created a kind of psychosis in society. There is a great atmosphere of nervousness and concern, and from my point of view, the media is not helping to make this go away. I also think that measures that have been taken are late and inadequate. The quarantine is useless if you don't invest in healthcare.
Hello everyone, my name is Carlos Chena. I am from Alicante, a coastal city located in the southeast of Spain. And today is March 24th, 2020. So we already have been locked at our homes for 1 week and a half. And it's supposed this situation will be lasting until April 13th. So it will be 1 month in totally lockdown. All of my friends are working at home. The country, in fact, is totally paralyzed. We are only allowed to do very specific things on the street, like doing your groceries in the supermarket or going to the pharmacy. Also, some bank offices are open, but no more. We are very worried right now because we already have 40,000 infected people and 3,000 deaths in only 3 weeks. So this virus works or attacks very fast and also hits very bad to the elders. Spain has a lot of old population, so we are very worried and we are very conscious right now in order to be at home and not to be in direct contact to each other. We put gloves and masks when we do our groceries, and we are also a bit worried about the economic outcome of this outbreak because Spain is a very touristic country. We received a lot of people from abroad, from another European countries, but also from Latin America and from Asia. And when this outbreak ends, we will be in the summer season, so we are very worried about that. We also find a lack of answer from our colleagues in Europe, from the European Union, because I don't know, we are not the only country affected with that. Also Italy is affected, but also France. I think we have to fight together against that and to put all the resources that a rich country like Europe has. So this is my personal opinion. I hope you are doing well in Austria, and thank you for this opportunity.
Hi Austria! So I am Rebecca Lorraine, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on here in Beijing, China, which is where I'm at. I have been here since January, so I was here when it was at its worst, and now it's starting to get better. The main thing is you have to wear a mask when you go into buildings. That's been standard for several months now, and everywhere checks your temperature. And some of the other policies that are newer are Beijing has diverted all flights, and so new flights can come into Beijing from abroad, and a lot of people are on quarantine when they come in from abroad, so that's kind of a new thing. I think overall people took the restrictions from government pretty seriously. I didn't see very many people out, mostly just to get exercise, and then they would go back home. Like, there weren't a lot of people eating out, especially when like it was at its peak. Now there are definitely more people eating out because Beijing mostly has it under control now. But they have policies in place where people have to be separated and they can't have too many at a table. I think that the people in China definitely took this situation very seriously and definitely were listening on the most part. You can definitely find some people who weren't, but I think as a whole, the country definitely took it very seriously. The people took it very seriously, and they did listen to their government. It's had a big effect on my life personally because I'm a teacher, and so schools have been shut down. We've been doing online learning. I've basically had to adapt to a whole different style of learning because my school normally does hands-on learning, and it has a lot of crafts and projects where the kids do stuff. So we're definitely making it work, and the kids are still learning, but it definitely will be better when we can get back into school. I definitely think that some businesses might have gone out of business from this, but I don't personally know for sure. But I have noticed that some businesses never opened back up, whereas most businesses are open now, but some just never opened back up. So I don't know if they ever will, or if they ended up not being able to sustain their business from this. I think overall, yeah, people in China definitely took it very seriously and listened to the government with what they said to do, with wearing masks everywhere. The thing I can speak most about is schools and how it has affected schools. And most schools are still closed. However, in some parts of China, they've started to let high school students back to school, but not in Beijing. So there's still no open date for Beijing for schools.
My experience has been good. So I came back to China on the 1st of March after an extended winter holiday, and I was in isolation for 14 days in my apartment. If I needed any food or household items, I ordered them online, and then the security guard very kindly brought them to me. I've been keeping myself busy with work and fun online activities like dance classes and a speech club. Every day I also complete a very quick health form and tell them if I have any symptoms so that my local community manager knows if I'm well or not. And after 14 days I was allowed to go outside, so now I can go outside if I want to, I just have to wear a mask.
The World Health Organization explains that people can catch COVID-19 from others who have the virus. The disease can spread from person to person through small droplets from the nose or mouth, which can spread when a person with COVID-19 coughs or exhales. This is why it is so important that we keep at least 1 meter distance from each other. We listen now how the COVID-19 situation is affecting to France, UK, Turkey and Poland.
Bueno, estamos ahora aquí, yo me encuentro en París, en Francia, y la situación es básicamente la misma que en toda Europa, o por lo menos en los países que más nombre han tenido, más ruido han causado, como son Italia y España. Estamos aquí confinados en casa también, empezó la cuarentena tipo 17 de marzo, creo que fue, y desde entonces que estamos en casa metidos. Es verdad que de momento la gente ha tardado, en mi opinión, un poco en darse cuenta de la gravedad del asunto. Yo he estado estos 10 días que llevamos ya de cuarentena, he ido como 3 veces al supermercado y no fue hasta ayer que no me tocó hacer cola. Hasta ahora sí que dejaban entrar a todo el mundo sin hacer cola, había bastante gente y aún así todavía sigo viendo gente debajo de casa, que hay un mercado de tipo de Deliveroo, Just Eat y así, y hay un montón de repartidores todo el rato. Yo creo que la gente tampoco está pensando demasiado en este tipo de trabajadores. Las medidas que ha tomado el gobierno francés es más o menos lo que está tomando todo el mundo. En España ya lo han tomado, en Italia, ahora en Reino Unido. Y es eso, lo del confinamiento. Han bajado también el transporte público, ha bajado un montón. Creo que está al 30% o algo así. El metro abre de 6 de la mañana a 10 de la noche, cuando normalmente es de 5 a 1 más o menos. Y eso está siendo más o menos el panorama aquí en París. Sí que le está repercutiendo a la gente. Yo, por ejemplo, ahora me encuentro haciendo teletrabajo, normalmente tengo que ir a la oficina y tal, pero toda la empresa está de teletrabajo, la mayoría de ellos. Incluso han aplicado un pequeño ERTE, hay gente que les han dicho, bueno, al paro temporal, y ya cuando la situación se recupere, otra vez para adentro. Se han paralizado contratos, se han paralizado renovaciones, y dicen que hasta septiembre más o menos, bueno, septiembre más o menos no, pero hasta que no pase la situación y la empresa no vuelva a coger su continuidad y tal, no va a empezar otra vez todo con normalidad. Yo, por ejemplo, he tenido problemas para volver a casa. Yo intenté volver, pues no sé si sería el 20 y algo, 20 y poco, 20 de marzo, creo que fue. Intenté volver a casa, pero me habían cancelado el tren para un sábado. Intenté volver el lunes siguiente, también me lo cancelaron. Ahora el siguiente tren lo tengo el 4 de abril. Y tengo miedo, y yo de hecho creo que me lo van a cancelar. No sé cómo irá la cosa, no sé qué es lo que va a pasar. Estoy esperando, porque normalmente te avisan como 2 días antes, y hasta, digo yo, que abril no me dirán nada. Y de momento pues esa es la situación que tenemos aquí en París. Yo creo que poco a poco van a ir agravando las medidas, van a ser un poquito más estrictos. Nosotros ahora mismo, por ejemplo, para salir a la calle necesitamos un permiso, que lo imprimes, lo firmas, y para ir a trabajar también necesitas un permiso diferente. Si, por ejemplo, yo voy a hacer la compra y me para un policía, me hace preguntas de dónde vienes, a dónde vas, dónde vives, en tal sitio, enséñame el justificante y todo eso. Eso, por ejemplo, en España no se está aplicando, solo para ir a trabajar. Y poco más, la verdad. Creo que hasta ahí. La única novedad, la última novedad más bien, es que vamos a estar confinados en casa hasta el 15 de abril, creo que es, que han dicho hoy. Me lo acaban de decir hace poco, de hecho.
So the UK is one of the most affected countries in the world so far, and surprisingly is one of the countries with more deaths in terms of like percentage. To be honest, the health system in the UK is a bit of a mess, and I don't think they're handling it as good as other countries are doing it. So it's completely overloaded, but for a while now. The government has imposed this kind of like semi-lockdown measure that basically implies that lots of shops, businesses, like restaurants, bars, etc. have closed, but people are not forced to stay at home if they don't want to. I still know some people that are required to go to their office, so not many people and not everyone is working from home, as I am, for example. So yeah, like because the government is not strict in the ways that they're doing things, people are not taking things very seriously. So you will see lots of people still like up until recently, because they closed the restaurants and pubs and everything just on Friday, so 3 days ago, and people were still going to the pubs at that time, and people are going for walks, going to the park, still meeting friends at the moment, because the government is not imposing this sort of like proper lockdown or proper quarantine like other countries like Spain, Italy or China did. So yeah, like in my case, I'm fortunate because I can work from home. I've been doing so for over 10 days now. I know that many people have already lost their jobs because obviously if some businesses close, that means that some employees will be let go. The positive thing though is that on Friday they approved that the government will pay up to 80% of the salary of the people who are not able to continue working in the current situation, which is something that has already been approved and will make a big difference because people were really scared about what was going to happen. So yeah, I think we are behind other countries like Spain, Italy, and so, because we're taking things slower. And yeah, we don't know exactly for how long are we gonna be this way, because as I said, we don't even have a proper lockdown yet. So far, there's been like a lack of I wouldn't say a lack of communication, but kind of like a lack of clarity in the things that they communicate. So yeah, supermarkets and other places are open, but many other businesses that are not needed at the moment are also open because they have only closed some of them. And yeah, so just I really hope things get better quickly, and we still want to stay safe in the homes. Thank you.
The virus arrived here rather late compared to Europe. The first case was seen on 10th of March. However, the numbers are increasing very fast. Our society is divided into two sides. One side is totally freaked out. These are usually educated and young people. They don't go out, not to groceries, not to parks, not for exercise, or not even to their balconies for some oxygen. They think everything can carry the virus, even the packages of the food, and they wash everything after buying from grocery. The other side, ironically, are older people. They don't care about the virus at all. They ignore it, they think it's fake news, or they think they're already old anyway. Our government set a new rule about it 2 days ago. Now, people older than 65 need to pay a punishment fee if they go out. However, still, they don't listen to the government. They go out not for urgent stuff, but just to meet up their friends or hang around. People are stocking a lot of things from hygiene products to food. That results the increase of the prices. Even though some pharmacies have the masks, they don't sell it because they wait for the black market to sell it for higher prices. And now we cannot buy anything for their real price. There are new rules in Turkey. For example, the schools shut down totally. We don't know when the next semester will start. The university students are not attending any classes, and for younger students, they have to follow their classes online or on TV. Weddings, honeymoons, and all trips are also cancelled. It's not by force, but people are afraid. Even in summer or next fall, people are calling off their plans now. However, there is no state of emergency in Turkey yet, so people need to work. Some employers allow their employees to stay at home and work home office, but it's not easy to do for all occupations. So many of the people still need to go out and continue their jobs outside. Probably the reason is Turkish economy is not very well for a long time, and the state is not capable to support all the employers and pay the basic income of employees. Some employers are forcing their employees to take compulsory vacations without any payment. Some of them are doing very basic health checks. For example, when the employees arrive at the company in the morning, they check their temperatures, and if it's high, they send you back your home. But it's not enough, of course. Some people consider to quit their jobs, and in that case, of course, they can sue the company and they can ask for compensation. However, we have no example yet, so it's not very certain that they will have the money. Social areas are also restricted. The cafes, restaurants, pubs, bars, all are closed now. Only some restaurants can serve, but only if they do delivery. Unfortunately, the shopping malls are still open and working. And banks are also open, however, they only work 5 hours a day. They widen their online services, and also you can connect with them via phone. However, older people are not able to use internet very well here, so they still need to go to offices. In that case, they are taking people one by one inside. Also, you can take money from ATM, like any ATM, without any commission, and you can take more than 5,000 Turkish liras in a day, which is quite high. I really hope that all of us can beat it very soon, and I want us to be safe. Thank you very much.
Cześć, nazywam się Kamila Świerc i mieszkamy w Polsce. W Polsce sytuacja jest bardzo dynamiczna. Rząd dba o to, abyśmy byli jak najbardziej bezpieczni, w związku z czym oczywiście pozostajemy w domach. Został wprowadzony stan epidemii kilka dni temu i teraz wychodzić z domu mogą tylko te osoby, które dojeżdżają do pracy, opiekują się osobami starszymi bądź w celu nabycia najważniejszych artykułów spożywczych czy wyjścia do apteki. Reszta osób pozostaje w domach. Rząd oczywiście też informuje nas na bieżąco o tym, ile jest przypadków zakażenia koronawirusem, jak wygląda sytuacja. Wiemy wszystko na bieżąco i dostosowujemy się do tego oczywiście, co przekazuje nam Ministerstwo Zdrowia. Zostały zamknięte szkoły i uczelnie. Te firmy, które mają możliwość tego, aby pracować zdalnie, właśnie to wprowadziły. Ja również pracuję aktualnie zdalnie z domu od kilku tygodni. Moja uczelnia, tak jak reszta w całej Polsce, została zamknięta, w związku z czym mam teraz przeprowadzane zajęcia online. Są one przeprowadzane albo poprzez wideokonferencję, albo po prostu przez maila lub zadaniowo i w ten sposób się i uczymy, i pracujemy i pozostajemy bezpieczni w domach. W sklepach również sytuacja jest bardzo mocno przestrzegana, może tam wchodzić tylko określona ilość osób. Wszystko jest bardzo dezynfekowane, są też prowadzone przerwy techniczne, podczas kiedy obsługa właśnie dezynfekuje sklep i również wszyscy starają się przestrzegać tego, aby chodzić w rękawiczkach, jak najmniej dotykać wszystkich rzeczy, no i faktycznie staramy się dbać o to, aby było jak najlepiej. Na początku faktycznie w sklepach pojawiały się może pustki, słyszałam o tym, jednak sama jeszcze tego nie doświadczyłam. Byłam w sklepie kilka razy i póki co w sklepach już faktycznie ten towar wrócił, jest na półkach, więc sytuacja wydaje się być opanowana. No i staramy się jak najbardziej przestrzegać tego, co wprowadza na bieżąco rząd. Jak na razie jest w miarę stabilnie, choć oczywiście nie jesteśmy jeszcze w tym najtrudniejszym okresie, bo jak przewiduje rząd, dopiero jest to najprawdopodobniej początek epidemii w Polsce, ale my staramy się jak najbardziej zabezpieczać teraz i pozostawać w domach. Ja już się nie mogę doczekać oczywiście tego momentu, kiedy wyjdę z domu, bo jestem tu już od kilku tygodni i stęskniłam się bardzo za moimi bliskimi, za przyjaciółmi, więc czekam już na ten moment. Mam nadzieję, że wszyscy ludzie jak najbardziej będą przestrzegać wszystkich zasad właśnie po to, abyśmy byli bezpieczni, aby zostali bezpieczni seniorzy, którzy są najbardziej narażeni, no i żebyśmy po prostu jak najszybciej wrócili do normalności.
It is important to know that the most common symptoms of COVID-19 are fever, tiredness, and dry cough. There are more for sure, but these will be the most common ones. These symptoms are usually mild and begin gradually. It is also good to know that some people become infected, but they don't develop any symptoms and don't feel unwell, even though they can still be contagious. We visit now South Africa, Ukraine, Taiwan, and Honduras, where even though the number of cases is lower, they also reported some.
Good evening, my name is Alonso Broadley. I'm all the way from South Africa. So this virus just about hit us in the recent weeks. About midway through March we had our first confirmed case, and then 2 weeks on we have about 550 confirmed cases. So it's expected to double before the end of the month, and our president predicted that at least 60 to 70% of the population would contract the virus, for about 10% of those to turn out to be fatal. Implementations have been put into place whereby personal hygiene became very important, whereby you are entitled to wear a mask in public together with gloves and always carrying hand sanitizer and just being mindful. And also another thing put into place by the government was social distancing. So basically isolation, whereby we are not allowed to go outside. So yesterday our president addressed the nation whereby our country is going into a nation lockdown for 21 days. But I think this could turn out to be a lot more than that. So there would be no stores open. The only thing that you could get would be medication. Supermarkets would be open, but only limited numbers of people would be able to enter. I don't think the people and the population understand the magnitude of what's happening as yet, but a few days into the lockdown, I think it will slowly start to kick in as people are posting of their personal experiences and how they plan on doing it. So I mean, it is 21 days, and there was a big hype about a 21-day challenge, 21-day fitness challenges. So there were some positives coming out of it. So I do hope that it doesn't spread as it's predicted. Me personally, I'm very scared of what it could result in. Other than that, for the lockdown, we're not allowed to go outside, not allowed to leave your house. The National Defense Force are roaming the streets to ensure that nobody is outside during this time, and we can only pray for things to get better.
Hello, my name is Ita, and now I'm in Taiwan, and now there's like 195 cases in Taiwan, and then the government, they banned all the foreigners from other countries. Only Taiwan citizens can come inside of Taiwan. And then they also ban every people who want to transfer in Taiwan. They also ban all the tourists who want to traveler who want to transfer in Taiwan also. Like the governments now, they are controlling the use of the mask. The government also told us to stay at least 1 meters to people. But there's no there's no any stay-home policy yet in Taiwan. I think the living situation is normal, but for me, it's like I come from abroad, so I need to do a 14 days, like isolate myself at home, and like the people from the government, from the healthcare center, they will call me every day to check my body temperature and is everything okay, if I need any help, because I cannot go out of my home. So if I need any help, they will offer me the help. If I need food, I need someone to take off my trash, they offer that service for you. And also they send mask. They send I receive 28 mask. They just send it to my home, and they also give you a pack of food, something to clean. We also have the panic of buying toilet paper, and now everything's fine. Just 2 days before, we have like this light panic attack in Taiwan. Taiwan is the transfer center from Europe or North America. They come to Taiwan. I also traveling in Taiwan or head to Australia or Southeast Asia. So Taiwan has been a very busy transfer points in the Asia, and we also have lots of very intense communication with China and Japan and nearby country also. So I think government do a lot of effort to keep Taiwan in this low number. I think now the situation in Taiwan is quite stable, and yeah, I think because we learned a lot from the SARS, like many years ago. So this time government is really strict to everything, and they really do lots of things before the actual things happens. They do well prepare for everything. So yeah, I'm really thankful for the government here.
Hi, this is Sasha from Ukraine. Dnipro is calling. So the situation with coronavirus here in Ukraine is not that pandemic as in the rest of the Europe, but still we have quarantine until the 3rd of April. Maybe the government will prolong it because they are talking now about announcing a state of emergency. Of course, schools and unis are closed. We closed air and railway stations and connections between other countries and also between our areas. Also, the undergrounds are closed here in Dnipro, Kiev and Kharkiv. And there is limitation in public transport. We are allowed to go in public transport only 10 people per ride. And employers send people for home office. It's officially allowed to go for home office. Only pharmacies and stores are allowed to work. Any cinemas, restaurants and cafes should be closed. And there is the police who are chasing those business owners who are not willing to follow the rules. So hopefully we're gonna fight it with the rest of the Europe. And please stay home and be safe and sound.
Hola, buenas, yo soy Marco, soy español, estoy trabajando en Honduras, voy a estar 3 meses, si las circunstancias lo permiten, estoy junto a unos 150, 200 personas más, españoles todos, y estamos en un complejo hotelero, son distintas villas, esta es una de ellas. El hotel está cerrado, o sea, no puede entrar nadie más que no seamos nosotros, ni salir, es decir, estamos confinados en el hotel. Es verdad que nuestras vistas, nuestras circunstancias son diferentes a las que se está viviendo, por ejemplo, en España o en Italia. Aquí en el complejo hotelero hay 5 piscinas que podemos utilizar y bueno, podemos hablar con los compañeros porque llevamos aquí ya mes y medio y durante este mes y medio no ha habido ningún caso de coronavirus, por lo tanto estamos dentro de lo que cabe bastante seguros. Seguimos yendo a trabajar porque trabajamos muy cerca del hotel, hay que coger una barca, son pequeñas islitas, son cayos, allí no hay nadie, son islas desiertas y paradisíacas, así que tenemos esa ventaja que podemos respirar aire puro. Y en cuanto al país, pues hay toque de queda, la gente no puede salir de casa, la gente que trabaja en el hotel se está quedando a dormir aquí, han pasado la cuarentena, que nos garantizan que no entren, que no se meta el virus en el hotel, en el complejo hotelero. En cuanto a la comida, sí que se distribuye, sí que sigue llegando comida para desayuno, comida y cena. Nosotros no podemos ir a comprar como lo hacíamos antes, nosotros tenemos que estar encerrados. Pero ya te digo que, o ya os digo que hablar de estar encerrado en un sitio de no sé cuántos metros cuadrados tendrá esto, pero yo os digo, tiene 5 piscinas, hay un bar donde podemos distraernos, podemos hablar, podemos abrazarnos, podemos tocarnos, cosa que no se puede hacer en los países estos que digo, en España o Italia. Y nada, a ver cómo avanza la situación. La verdad es que el gobierno ha actuado de manera rápida y eficaz. En cuanto detectaron los primeros 2 o 3 casos, pusieron todas las medidas, cortaron las carreteras, salió el ejército y no llegan ningún tipo de avión. Por lo tanto, todo el mundo está encerrado en su casa, se está cumpliendo, está todo absolutamente cerrado, solamente abren comercios y farmacias. Y nada, a esperar que pase esto cuanto antes, que no nos afecte y poder volver a casa cuanto antes.
You can reduce your chances of being infected or spreading COVID-19 by following some simple rules. Regularly wash your hands with soap and water. Maintain at least 1 meter distance between yourself and anyone else. Avoid touching eyes, nose, and mouth. Make sure you and the people around you follow good respiratory hygiene. This means covering your mouth and nose with your bent elbow or tissue when you cough or sneeze. Then dispose of the used tissue immediately. If you have a fever, cough, or difficulty breathing, seek medical attention and call it in advance. Follow the directions of your local health authority. Keep up to date on the latest COVID-19 hotspots and, if possible, avoid traveling. You can find more detailed information on the website of the World Health Organization. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay at home, and goodbye.